So here we are, about to record the new Aurora Borealis record. Mark Green on drums. So he was the guy that, of all the audition videos, got chosen. And we're just going to run over what we're using to record with real quick. So I guess first things first, most people are going to watch the video and say, no kick mics, where's your kick mics? Well, we decided not to go with any kick mics because we have such great samples, and they're samples that I've been dying to use for the last 5 years since the last record. So, you know, he's got the D drum triggers on there, just running from a rolling brain, just using a random sound out of the brain for now until we decide to re-trigger. So, you know, that's the kicks, and, you know, we're not sweating the fact that they're not natural. We could care less. You know, we're not purists like that. Well, I'm not. I don't know what these guys are, but just running over the kit, the main kit, starting with the snare drum, standard SM57s on the top and bottom. So obviously going with both top and bottom, you got to check for phasing issues before you get going, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to phase out on you. And going to the toms, using Sennheiser 421s all the way across, MD 421s. Going to the hi-hat, got the Shure SM81s, same on the ride, trying to keep it consistent, you know, left to right. Overheads, AKG 414s. We're definitely using 3, and there's so many people that cry and say, oh, they're using 3, you're going to phase out, you're going to phase out. Well, if you check for phasing, you won't phase out. It's that simple. And you definitely want to check the overheads in accordance with the snare when you're checking for phasing issues, because that's where you're going to have most of your problems. What else do we got? It's a pretty basic setup. We got one room mic over the kit. It's a Neumann U87, and we're just using that for a little bit of room ambience or special effect kind of stuff that we want to do. There's no stereo room mics because we're not trying to get that big open room John Bonham sound. We're going for a tighter, dry, more, you know, death metal, black metal sound, whatever you want to call it. Not a lot of room ambience on it. We may not even use the overhead at all. Yeah, so that's pretty much the kit. I don't know if Mark, if you want to say anything about what you're using.
Yeah, well, I'm using just a Premier Cavalry kit. It's not the best in the world, but it's not the worst either. And with the right tuning and right heads, and you know, luckily Ron knows what he's doing with all this stuff too. Gets it sounding real good. You know, it does the job. I have a 14 by 5.5 Mapex Black Panther bird's eye maple snare that's doing me some justice here. It's sounding really good for CD, at least, you know, for what I like to go for. It's got a nice crack and pop to it, but it's got a lot of body too. I'm using Axis longboards. Using these for a while. Got a Tama wood beater in there. I actually he mentioned the D drums. I do have them, but I didn't use them. I used the E-kits that I got on the Axis pedal there. And it's just a different way to trigger, that's all, you know, different type of trigger. Kicks are 22s, 22 by 16 I believe. I got 8, 10, 12, and 14 diameter toms going down. Cymbals are a mixture of Zildjian and pasty. I just buy whatever sounds good. I walk in the store or whatever, or hear something, I just buy it if I like it. I'm not really exclusive to any brand, so that's pretty much it. You know, Roland TD8 module, I believe. I like it because you can mount it on there, and it's got a lot more functions than say like a DM5 or whatever. You got a lot more sounds, a lot more control over the sounds. But like I said, he's got a lot of samples, so we probably won't even use what we got out of here. Maybe we'll mix it in, you know, depends.
Yeah, I mean the samples we're going to go with, we're going to try to sample his kit so that we're not using a lot of fake samples. I mean, maybe the kick, you know, is not going to be his kick, but other than that, we're going to try to keep it all his kit. So when we do make our samples, we're going to sample his kit and lay them in just for that extra pop and consistency. Not that it's not consistent, but you know, it's got to be right.
Yeah.
And if there's nothing else you want to say, I mean, let's go ahead and contract. You know. Matt, the assistant engineer on the whole project. So we're just going to go over what we're using in here. First of all, we're not using a Pro Tools LE or anything like that. We're using a Pro Tools high definition system. We're recording at 88.2, 24-bit. We got the HD converters over here. So, you know, we're trying to keep it all very high quality. As far as preamps and stuff like that, using a lot of API stuff, especially on the snare and the toms. A little bit of API EQ on some stuff, API compression on some of the overheads, Pacifica preamp, you know, true preamp, got some Chandler germanium stuff. Using a couple different distressors, especially on the snare drums as well. Get you that extra bite out of the snare, that extra pop, you know, a little bit of consistency. They're pretty transparent, so you don't got to worry about hearing the compressors suck up on you. And then some cheaper preamps over here just for some added stuff, DBX and some Focusrite stuff. But some of the amps that we're gonna use on the record, obviously the main amp is going to be the VHT Pitbull, just because it's so tight and so dry. You know, it's going to allow us to hear every pick stroke, every hit, so that, you know, it's not going to fuzz out like a Mesa Boogie or something like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Mesa Boogie. It's a great amp, but it's got a little too much fuzz for what we're going for. And we might do some layering with the orange, just depending upon, you know, how they sound together. We just got to do some sample takes and see how they're going to sound together. But definitely the main amp right now is going to be the VHT. And then what are we going to use for guitars?
Which way?
Are we going to use? Are we going to use the Custom Jackson? Maybe. We're going to use the Dave Mustaine V. That was really Dave Mustaine's V. Or the old school Charvel. I don't know. Have to see. Yeah, we're going to use the Dean. Hey, are you ready? New take, 4 clicks. Hey, you ready? 8 clicks, all right? I'm coming out.